It's an honor to be part of the celebration and reflection of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The current calls for action, demonstrations, policies, and investments around racial justice happening in our city, our state, our nation, and the world influence this year's reflection of one of history's most prominent, dedicated, and passionate figures. Reflecting on the enduring legacy of Dr. King offers me invaluable lessons. These lessons help serve as guiding principles I intend to follow during the next 4 years of working to make our city safer, more prosperous, and more welcoming for everyone. More than ever, we need the powers of the collective good, the vision, the grit, and the commitment to create a better tomorrow for everyone. Although we are living in a different moment in history than Dr. King experienced in the 1960s, it remains essential to acknowledge and listen to the voices of racial justice leaders of today. It's important because if you listen, you hear the same truths that were expressed decades ago. Fortunately, you also see ongoing actions of solidarity. Community coming together during extreme hardships. Community calling on each other during times of emergency. Making sure that everyone is healthy and safe. And you witness the same selflessness and sacrifice, hours upon hours of work to stabilize communities, address problems, develop solutions, and challenge the status quo. What Dr. King set out to do and what he accomplished moved our nation. Dr. King taught us that leaders who build movements from a place of love and who are able to bring people together are the pillars of a healthy, safe, and resilient community. The legacy of Dr. King can and must live on through each of us. Think of the many problems we could solve, the young people who we could empower, the lives we could protect, and the many liberties of life we could all enjoy if we lived Dr. King's philosophy of nonviolence. How much more wonderful would our lives, our community, and our world be if the resounding message sent by Dr. King was truly taken to heart by everyone on this good earth? We're living in a time where division, distrust, and fear continue feeding the undercurrent that's steadily tearing at the fabric of our community's existence. And the seeds of racism and injustice that were sown when our nation was born continue to bear bitter fruit and shape our community. It's up to us to change that. We must move beyond violent responses against those with whom we disagree, because violence begets violence. And so, I'm mindful every moment of taking actions to connect and support our community leaders who are challenging the status quo. I know I've made mistakes. I know I have more to learn. And I have a lot more work to do. I am more committed than ever to learning, to listening, to collaborating with others, and acting. Our fates are more intertwined than ever. And because of that, we'll only succeed by remembering the humanity in everyone and in ourselves.